Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to another live stream here on both YouTube and Kick. Here on YouTube at Sports Bonanza John and on Kick at Sports Kick John. We're ready for them. Quarterfinal round in the college football playoff. It starts tonight in the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, Miami and Ohio State. The first of four quarterfinal matchups in the college football playoff. We'll preview this game momentarily. First of all, let's pray. Lord Jesus, thank you for this day. Thank you for doing your will among us, Lord. And please look over all these players and fans tonight. Please keep everyone safe and please continue to work in us, Lord, as we ask this and pray this in your name. Amen. All right, Buckeyes and Hurricanes. Miami coming off that first round upset win over Texas A&M 10-3 in College Station. So they already have a game under their belts. Meanwhile, Ohio State has not played since the Big Ten championship game loss to Indiana. So Ohio State's had a little bit of a break here in between games. It's been, well, about almost 3 weeks since Ohio State has taken the field. And they are ready for a showdown in Arlington with the Hurricanes and the Buckeyes. As I mentioned, Hurricanes coming off that first round win in College Station over Texas A&M. 10-3 was the final in a basic windstorm over there in College Station that night. As it was a win for the Hurricanes. That was the second first round game in the college football playoff. Not much in the passing game there with that wind attack. Carson Beck passed for 103 yards in that win over Texas A&M, but Miami got it done with 175 yards on the ground, led by Mark Fletcher's 172. So it was a big rushing attack. Now, Miami did give up over 300 yards in that game. That's something that's obviously going to have to improve tonight for Miami if they want to have a chance against the Buckeyes. Buckeyes coming in a little more than a touchdown favorite in this game. We'll see. But again, the layoff, we'll see how that affects Ohio State. If you're recalling last year's playoff, the four teams that had the first round bye all lost in the quarterfinal round. Now, granted, it's a little bit different format this time, as it's just the top four teams this year. Last year, it was the top four conference champions that got the first round bye. This year, it was just whoever was ranked in the top four that got the bye. So we'll see if that changes things a bit. But like I said, if you had the bye last year, it did not help you. As the Buckeyes are taking the field at the Cotton Bowl in Arlington, a lot of Buckeye red in the stands at AT&T Stadium tonight, as we are just about 6 minutes away from the kickoff in this first college football playoff quarterfinal. The Ohio State, of course, the defending national champion. They beat Notre Dame in the national championship game a season ago, and they are looking to go back-to-back. Something hasn't happened in a while. As it is the Buckeyes and the Hurricanes, we are just about set for the coin toss as both teams head to midfield with the Cotton Bowl logo, and we are set to get the coin toss here. We'll see how this coin toss goes. Expect Carson Beck he's going to have more than 103 yards passing tonight if the Hurricanes are going to have a chance here tonight, you would think. Now, again, that was that windstorm in College Station. No wind to worry about under the roof at AT&T Stadium. As the officiating crew comes to midfield to get set for this coin toss. SEC officiating crew tonight, Daniel Gautreau is the referee, and he's getting set to toss the coin. Normally, if a team wins the coin toss about 90% of the time, you'll see them defer. That way, they will get the ball to start the second half. Miami as the higher seed, or as the lower seed, I should say, will call it. And Ohio State has just won the toss. And let's see if they defer like most teams do. And they do. Ohio State wins the toss. They defer to the second half. So we will see Miami get the football first to begin this game, which is just about 3-4 minutes away from kickoff. Mario Cristobal, the head coach of the Miami Hurricanes. Ryan Day for Ohio State, looking to go back-to-back in the second year of this 12-team playoff. 3 more quarterfinal games coming up tomorrow. It starts at noon Eastern time in the Orange Bowl with Oregon and Texas Tech. That's going to be a shootout tomorrow. Then at 4 o'clock Eastern time out in Pasadena, the Rose Bowl, Alabama and Indiana. And it wraps up tomorrow night in New Orleans with the Sugar Bowl, Ole Miss and Georgia in an all-SEC affair. Fans are jammed in AT&T Stadium. It's awaiting this kickoff, which is about to occur. Will that just about 3-week layoff come into play for Ohio State? Have to wait and see. We will see Carson Beck and the Miami Hurricanes get the football to begin this game. First of all, here in the Eastern time zone is about 4 hours and 20 minutes away, but Happy New Year to all of you out there. Getting set to put 2025 behind us and head into 2026. So ball is on the tee. Ohio State set to kick this away. And the run-up and this first quarterfinal is underway from Arlington. And it is going to be a touchback, and Miami will get the football at the 25-yard line to begin things, and Carson Beck leading the way for the Miami Hurricanes. Of course, transferred to Miami from Georgia. 35-5 record as a collegiate quarterback is Carson Beck. Of course, he has 2 national championships at Georgia. He was the backup quarterback there. First down at the 25-yard line. First offensive play of the game for Miami. Beck out of the shotgun on this first down play. He'll take the snap. Beck looking and throws a little short pass. It's going to be incomplete. There was nothing downfield, so Beck tried to go short and missed his intended receiver there, the running back Mark Fletcher Jr. It'll be second down and 10. Fletcher, the one I told you about at the beginning, that rushed for 172 yards for Miami in that first-round win over Texas A&M. Second down and 10 for the Hurricanes from the 25. And this will be a handoff on second down. That's going to be a minimal gain of 3 yards for Fletcher, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 situation for Miami. Buckeye fans making a lot of noise in the stands on this third down play. 3rd down and 7. Miami 45% on third down conversions this year. Beck takes the shotgun snap. Beck will throw down the field and behind his receiver, incomplete. And it'll be a 3 and out for Miami on the opening series of the game. That pass was behind Keelan Marion, the intended receiver for Miami. So Miami to punt this football away. Brandon Innes back to receive the kick for Ohio State. Here's the snap, and Joyce gets the punt away. Ennis backtracks at the 21, nowhere to go on the return, and he'll return it to only the 24-yard line, so a 3-yard return. Off the punt of 51 yards, and now the Ohio State offense will come out for the first time. Julian Sayin leading out this Buckeyes offense. Sayin passing for over 3,300 yards on the season, completing 78% of his passes. Be a first down. From the 24-yard line. This is a handoff on first down, and this will be a gain of about 3 yards on this first down carry for the Buckeyes. Brings up second down and 7. As Bo Jackson getting the first carry of the game for Ohio State. Quickly back up to the line. Second down and 7. Sayin throws right side and behind his receiver, incomplete. That was dangerous because there was a Miami defender coming right there. So it wouldn't have been much even if Carnell Tate made that catch. Third down and 7. Third down and 7 for Ohio State. Football at the 27-yard line. Sayin out of the gun. Sayin now coming up to the line. Sayin takes the snap. Sayin dropping back. Sayin in trouble, and he's swarmed and sacked. Big sack on the play, drops Sayin inside the 20-yard line, and both teams go 3 and out on the opening possession. Boy, Miami brought a couple players there, and there was no stopping them getting through that Ohio State line. He Messador, the one that got to Julian Sayin for the sack, and the Buckeyes have to punt from deep in their own territory. And a fair catch called for at the 39-yard line. So 3 and out both ways to begin this game. And with 12:49 to play in the opening quarter, Miami will come out for the second time on offense. Nothing doing so far. So the defense is holding stiff on the first series of the game for both teams. Miami getting the sack of Sayin, which sets up Miami in very good field position here to start their second drive of the game. Winners of this game tonight and of the 3 quarterfinal games tomorrow advance on to the semifinals. Those will be played next Thursday and Friday. Thursday at the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale. And next Friday, January 9th, at the Peach Bowl in Atlanta. And then the College Football Playoff National Championship game takes place Monday night, January 19th, down in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium. I will be on the live stream again tomorrow for at least one of those quarterfinal games. And that will be the Rose Bowl tomorrow. I will be live streaming Alabama and Indiana. That is slated for a 4 o'clock Eastern time kickoff. That's probably going to be more like 4:15. The Tide and the Hoosiers. The second quarterfinal game tomorrow. So a scoreless game, 2 minutes and 11 seconds in here as both Offense is able to do nothing on their opening drives of the game. So we will see Carson Beck and the Miami offense back out on the field. First down for the Hurricanes. Football at the 39-yard line. Beck back in the shotgun. Beck takes the snap and will hand it off on first down. This will be a gain of 4 yards on first down for the Hurricanes. Mark Fletcher Jr. getting the carry. Second down and 6 after the 4-yard gain for Fletcher on first down. Beck takes the second down snap, now fakes the handoff this time, now looking downfield and will throw it to the left side to Fletcher. That'll be a first down for the Hurricanes into Buckeye territory and out of bounds around the Buckeye 40-yard line. So the first down of the game belongs to the Hurricanes on a short pass to Mark Fletcher Jr. Hurricanes at the Buckeye 40-yard line after that 16-yard pass play from Beck to Fletcher. And now it's a handoff to Fletcher, and Fletcher will get a couple. Good job that time by the Ohio State defense to limit the gain for Fletcher. Second down. Gain of 1 officially on that last play. Second down and 9. Miami at the Ohio State 40. And the throw behind Fletcher this time and off his hands, and then it was nearly picked. After it went off Fletcher's hands, it'll be third down. So another third down situation for Miami. Buckeye fans making a lot of noise again. Hoping for another third down stop. Beck looking, throws over the middle, pass complete. First down, Miami inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. The third down pass reception for C.J. Daniels nets 13 and gives the Hurricanes a first down. First down for the Hurricanes at the 27-yard line. Ohio State defender that just went in the medical tent there. I didn't catch who that was. And the handoff here again on first down for Miami. That'll be a gain of 4. It wasn't Fletcher this time getting the carry. That was Malachi Toney, the wide receiver, that got that carry. Gain of 4 brings up second down and 6. Beck looking. Beck will now run it, and Beck will get tripped up and dropped at the 20-yard line. And a third down and 3 coming up for the Hurricanes. 3rd down and 3. 9 minutes to go in this first quarter. Beck under center this time. He'll hand it off. And then it is not going to be a first down. And there's a fumble on the play, and the Buckeyes have recovered. Ohio State was signaling that they had the football, and sure enough, there was a fumble, and the official points Ohio State's way. Miami turns it over. So a costly red zone turnover for the Hurricanes gives the ball to the Buckeyes. So the first turnover of the game goes against Miami. And the Buckeyes will get it. And keeping Miami off the scoreboard. So the Hurricanes had the best drive of the game going, but it stalls on the fumble. See who that was that recovered the fumble for Ohio State. It was Peyton Pierce with the recovery for Ohio State. So the Buckeyes catch a break. If you're starting to hear some noise in the background, the neighbors in my neighborhood are starting their fireworks shooting a little bit early. So the Buckeyes will take over after the fumble recovery at their own 19-yard line with their second possession of the game. We will have our first team into the CFP semifinals after this game is over. So the Buckeyes will start this drive at their own 19-yard line as Julian Sayin leads the Buckeye offense back out. On a packed house at the Cotton Bowl in Arlington. $8:51 to go here in the first quarter. Buckeyes back on offense here. First down. Sayin coming up to the line here. It might be changing the play and now going back into the shotgun. Sayin takes the snap on first down, fakes the handoff. Sayin looks, pass caught, and that's going to be right at a 10-yard gain, and that should be an Ohio State first down. And it will be a Buckeye first down as Jeremiah Smith makes the reception. Sophomore out of Miami Gardens, Florida. First down, Ohio State at the 29. And this will be a handoff. And going backwards and dropped behind the line for a 2-yard loss. On first down is Bo Jackson. Great job by the Miami defense to get Jackson there for a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12. Second down for Ohio State. At the 27-yard line. Midway through this first quarter, this is Jackson again getting a handoff, has a big hole this time and gets to the 35-yard line. Jackson picks up 8, setting up a manageable 3rd down and 4 now for Ohio State. Third down and 4 for the Buckeyes. Football sitting at their own 35-yard line. 7 minutes to play here in the first quarter. No score yet between Miami and Ohio State. Sayin in the shotgun on 3rd down and 4. Now sends a man in motion. Sayin takes the shotgun snap. Sayin throws, and he overshoots everybody. Incomplete. Miami was bringing the pressure again, and I think Sayin had to get rid of that before he wanted to. And it's incomplete, and Miami will force a second Ohio State punt. That ball was going to be a tough catch anyway, as that ball was thrown well out of bounds. So the second punt of the game for the Buckeyes has Joe McGuire back on to punt. Malachi Toney back to receive for Miami. And here's the punt. Toney from the 18, a fair catch right there at the 18-yard line. And that's where Miami will start their 3rd drive of the game. Had a promising 2nd drive, but fumbled it in the red zone. And beckon the Hurricanes to go back on offense following this timeout. So far in this game, Buckeyes just 9 total yards of offense on their first 2 drives. Miami defense has really done a good job shutting down Ohio State. Just the 1 first down for the Buckeyes so far. And what could have been for Miami on that 2nd drive if not for that fumble. Ohio State, as mentioned, coming in here trying to go back-to-back national championships. Ohio State defeating Notre Dame last year in the first 12-team college football playoff. Let's talk about a couple of those games tomorrow. That first of all at the Orange Bowl at noon Eastern time in Miami there, Oregon and Texas Tech. Boy, those 2 teams can score. That should be an offensive shootout tomorrow between Oregon and Texas Tech. The winner of that game will get the winner of tomorrow's Rose Bowl in the semifinals. The Rose Bowl scheduled for 4 o'clock Eastern. I will be on the live stream for that. Alabama and Indiana. Alabama winning in the first round over Oklahoma. Question in that game is going to be, yes, Indiana is at number 1. They've been one of the best teams in the country all season long. But you've got experience with Alabama, inexperience with Indiana. Will that come into play tomorrow? We'll find out at the Rose Bowl. And then we wrap it up tomorrow night at the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans with Ole Miss and Georgia. An all-SEC game. Georgia handed Ole Miss their only loss of the season. So you know Ole Miss is going to be seeking some redemption in that game. Georgia still with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Last year's season ended at the Sugar Bowl to Notre Dame. So you know Georgia's going to want to get that early playoff exit out of their system last year and beat Ole Miss for a second time. Winner of that Ole Miss-Georgia game will get will go to the semifinals and get the winner of this game, Miami and Ohio State. So Miami getting set for their third possession of the game. This one starts at their own 18, first down and 10. 6:36 to go, opening quarter. Beck looking on first down. Now is going to run it with nowhere to go downfield, and Beck gets to the 25-yard line. That's a good gain of 8 yards on first down for Carson Beck. That'll bring up second down and 2. This Ohio State team been a great defensive team all year. They're giving up just over 8 points a game. Their defense has just been phenomenal this season. Second and 2 for Miami. This is a handoff, and it's going to be a first down across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Fletcher broke one tackle and almost broke that second. And if he would have broke that second tackle, there was a lot of green ahead of him. Knee may have hit down at the 30 there. First down for the Hurricanes. That's their third first down of this game. Beck coming up to the line now, going back to shotgun formation. Beck, here's another handoff to Fletcher, and Fletcher gets by a set of tacklers and breaks free again and gets up to the 44-yard line. That looked like it was only going to be about a 2-yard gain, but Fletcher broke free from a couple tacklers and got about an extra 10 yards. First down for Miami from the 44. Fletcher with 27 yards so far in this one, rushed for 172 in their first round win over Texas A&M. This pass is caught by Tony. Tony fumbled the ball there at the end of the play, but was able to cover it up. And now we've got some pushing and shoving after the play. Officials come in and stop it before it gets out of hand. No flags. Second down coming up for the Hurricanes. Second and 5 from the 49. Under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. And here's Fletcher. And Fletcher will get about 3 more into Ohio State territory to the 48-yard line. And another third down coming up for Miami. Miami 1 for 3 on third down conversion so far in this game. They need a little over 2 yards on this one. They need to get to the 46-yard line of Ohio State for a first down. Beck takes the shotgun snap. Beck looking right side. Pass caught. First down, Miami inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The second third down conversion for Miami. This one goes to C.J. Daniels. And the Hurricanes marching down the field once again. First down, Hurricanes at the 39. Beck throws a screen pass left side, and that's to Tony, and Malachi Tony will get taken down at the 35-yard line. Gain of 4. Will bring up second down and 6. As we're about to tick under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. 2nd and 6 for Miami. Football at the 35-yard line of Ohio State. Man in motion here for Miami. Beck takes the snap, drops back. Beck throws right side this time. That's caught. That's going to be another first down for the Hurricanes inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. And the Hurricanes marching right down the field once again. Joshisa Trader with that first down reception for Miami as they are sitting now just inside the Ohio State 29. And here's a handoff on first down. Big hole here inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. This will be a gain of about 7. As that was our first look at Gerard Pringle Jr. getting that carry. This Buckeye defense in the first quarter, Miami's done a good job of racking up the yards in the first quarter, just haven't been able to put any points on the board yet, where you'll go under 30 seconds for the first quarter. And here's Pringle again. He's going to have another Miami first down into the red zone. Once again, go the Hurricanes, and that play looks like is going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Mario Cristobal with a clap on the sideline. He likes what he's seen for the Miami Hurricanes on offense. They did have that turnover, but we have played one at the Cotton Bowl in Arlington. First college football playoff quarterfinal, Miami and Ohio State. No score, but Miami is in the red zone. Running down the stats here after the first quarter. Big yardage advantage for Miami, 110 yards to 9. 7-1 advantage in first downs for the Hurricanes. It was a penalty-free first quarter. That's what you like to see in a playoff game. Miami had the football for 11 minutes and 20 seconds in that first quarter. Carson Beck in that first quarter, 6 for 9 for 55 yards. Mark Fletcher Jr., the leading rusher for Miami, 7 carries, 29 yards, coming off that 172-yard rushing game in their first-round win over Texas A&M. As it has been all Hurricanes here in the first quarter. So Ohio State has not been able to muster a thing in the first quarter against this Miami defense, only having the ball for 3 minutes, 40 seconds. But it is scoreless as Miami will have the football here to begin the second quarter at the Ohio State 18. As we are set to get underway in the second quarter in Arlington, Texas, about halfway between Dallas and Fort Worth. at AT&T Stadium. Hurricanes in the red zone for the second time. First down, Miami. At the 18-yard line. Carson Beck giving signals and takes the snap. And here's a handoff to Fletcher right side. Fletcher inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. There's a good 5-yard pickup on first down for Fletcher. It'll bring up second down and 5 for the Hurricanes. Second down, and they're calling it 6 for Miami. Beck throws left side, open receiver, pass caught, out of bounds at the 9-yard line. It'll be third down and 1 as Daniels Jr. with the reception. Third down for the Hurricanes. They need about 1.5 yards. Football sitting just inside the 10. Beck throws left side, and it's going to be a touchdown, Miami. Carson Beck threw it to his left, found Fletcher, and Fletcher takes it 10 yards for the first Miami touchdown of the game and the first points of this year's Cotton Bowl. 6-0 Miami with the extra point pending. Officially a 9-yard touchdown reception from Carson Beck to Mark Fletcher Jr. So Miami able to take advantage of the drive this time and score in the red zone. Extra point is up, and it is good. And the Hurricanes strike first in this one with 13:31 to play in the second quarter. 7-0. Hurricanes lead the Buckeyes. As that was a 13-play, 83-yard drive that took 8 minutes, 4 seconds. Finished off with a 9-yard touchdown pass from Carson Beck to Mark Fletcher Jr. And Miami has Ohio State in a 7-0 hole. So now Ohio State will have to play comeback here. So can the Buckeyes respond? As the Buckeyes in a hole now, 7-0. Held to just 9 yards of offense so far in their first 2 drives. And Carson Beck, 8 of 11 passing the football for 67 yards and now 1 touchdown pass. That was an 8-minute-plus drive for Miami. They've had the ball now for almost 13 minutes already in this game on their 3 drives. Second drive was a time-consuming one as well, where it looked like Miami was headed down to score, but then they had that fumble. Appreciate a live chat here. Wild 2009 looked like the easiest touch. Yeah, I think either Ohio State got fooled on that play or something, because there was nobody around Fletcher on that touchdown reception. So now the Buckeyes will have to find some offense here in an absolute packed house at AT&T Stadium on this New Year's Eve night. Hope y'all are having a good New Year's Eve so far. Hope you're at some place where you can just stay safe where you're at. And here's the kickoff. And this will be through the end zone for a touchback, and Ohio State will start this next drive at the 25-yard line. Wild asked who you rooting for. I got underdog ACC. Well, so here's the thing. I do have a serious rooting interest in this game because one of these two teams that is playing in this game, I'm not a real big fan of. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to tell you which one it is, but I'm still not going to show any bias. So I'm not going to say who I'm rooting for here. But here we go. First down at the 25-yard line. Sayin fakes the handoff. Sayin has a man now throwing deep down the field. Has a man down there, and it's caught inside the 20-yard line. The first big play of the game for the Buckeyes, and they march it down to the red zone on one play. That pass was right on the dot down the field. 59 yards on the reception. So the Buckeyes trying to answer and answer quickly. First down at the 16 after that 59-yard reception for Jeremiah Smith. Sayin fakes the handoff. Sayin in trouble on his sack for the second time. Back at the 22-yard line. Reuben Bain Jr. in on that sack. He was in on that first sack play of Sayin. Loss of 6 on the sack brings up second down and 16. Back at the 22-yard line. Sayin screen, intercepted! Steps right in the lane. This is going to be a pick 6, I think, the other way. Touchdown Miami on a pick 6 thrown by Julian Sayin. That was great anticipation. And a 78-yard pick 6. Keontae Scott. 13-0 Miami. And what a turn of events that was. Wow. Boy, that defense, he saw it all the way on that screen pass. Extra point is good. 14-0 Miami. Ohio State gets the big play downfield, but then an interception and looks like I said 79-yard pick. So I think it's about a 75-yard pick 6 the other way. And it is 14-0 with 11:49 to play here in the first half. Wow, wow. Keontae Scott with what could be a game turner right there. Wild 2009, you've got a good point here. Ohio State, Ryan Day has more heat to make it to the national championship this year. Well, he won it, of course, winning it last year, but yeah, they'll go back to back. And Buckeye fans, if you know Ohio State fans, it's a championship or bust there in Columbus. And so I do agree. Ryan Day has, and he's feeling it a little bit in this game in a 2-touchdown hole here right now. Still plenty of time, still early on in the second quarter. But this has one of those feels right here, even though we're still only in the second quarter. This has the feel on this drive of almost a must score here for Ohio State. Well, Keontae Scott with the pick six could be the momentum shifter. Scott, a senior out of San Diego, has just made the play of the game so far. Well, this is going to raise some eyebrows because there's a lot of these college football so-called experts out there. And a lot of people, not just so college football experts, saying how bad the ACC was this year. And if Miami can pull this out and hang on and win here, you're going to have an ACC team into the semifinals. So maybe the ACC wasn't quite as bad as people thought. Here's the kickoff. And this will be another touchback. Ohio State will get it at the 25. Once again, I thought he was going to run that out for a second from 9 yards back. But so how can Ohio State change this momentum over to their side? It looked like they were starting with that long pass from Sayin to Smith, but that quickly changed in a hurry. So back comes Sayin and the Ohio State offense as they're going to start this drive at the 25-yard line. Sayin out of the shotgun once again. Fakes the handoff. Sayin throws right side, open receiver to Jeremiah Smith again. That'll be a first down up to the 38-yard line. Good gain of 13 yards on that first down play. First down, Buckeyes at the 38. Julian Sayin's third completion of the game. All three of them are to Jeremiah Smith. This is a handoff now across the 40, and that'll be a first down up near midfield for Ohio State. C.J. Donaldson getting the carry that time for the Buckeyes, and will move the chains again. So on 2 plays, Ohio State has marched the ball up to midfield. Donaldson stays in the game at running back on this play. First down and 10 right at midfield. Sayin, here comes the blitz again for Miami. Picked up, though, by Ohio State, but the ball is overthrown and incomplete. He was looking for Jeremiah Smith again, but overshot him just a little bit. It's second down and 10. That was almost a great one-handed catch by Smith. I still don't know that he would have came down in bounds, but a great effort there by Jeremiah Smith. 2nd down and 10 for Ohio State. Football sitting right at midfield. 10:27 remaining here in the second quarter. 14-0 Miami. Sayin. Pressured again, and is not going to be able to get out of it. That's the 3rd sack for Miami here in the first half. And it'll be 3rd and forever for Ohio State. Akeem Mesidor with his 2nd sack of the first half. Third down and a long way. It's just a little screen pass to Donaldson. He's just going to get what he can and get up back to the original line of scrimmage. But that's going to be it. And Ohio State is going to have to punt the football yet again. Hey, Wild, you too. Happy New Year to you too. So here comes Joe McGuire back on to punt. Malachi Toney back to receive for Miami as McGuire gets the punt away. Toney with a fair catch at the 11-yard line, and Miami will have their worst starting field position of the night, but with a 2-touchdown lead, and they go back on offense with 8:53 remaining in the second quarter. Winner off to the semifinals of the college football playoff, which will be either next Thursday or Friday. And the winner here will get the winner of that Ole Miss Georgia game in the Sugar Bowl tomorrow. So back following the timeout here, Miami will have it back, looking to add to their 14-0 first half lead here. Updating some of these stats here real quick. Miami still a huge time of possession advantage, and the best part that I like right now of this game, it has been penalty free in the first half. Yeah, let these guys fight it out. This is the playoffs. So the Hurricanes will be back on offense with their worst starting field position of the night, as they're going to start at their own 11-yard line. 8:53 to play here in the second quarter. And actually, the winner of this game, as I mentioned, will take on the winner of Ole Miss Georgia. That game will be next Thursday, January the 8th. First down for the Hurricanes from the 11-yard line. Beck coming back up to the line. Might be changing the play again here on first down. Play clock's down to 2. They need to get the snap off, and they just do. And it's a handoff, and it's going nowhere on first down. Good job that time by the Buckeye defense. And nothing doing on first down for Fletcher. It'll be second down. Miami moving quickly back up to the line. Second down and 10 at the 11. Beck to throw this time right side. Has a man. Pass caught. That's going to be a Miami first down up to the 22-yard line. That's C.J. Daniels once again with the reception. And move the chains for the Hurricanes. First down, Miami at the 22. 8 minutes and counting to play here in the second quarter. Hand off again to Fletcher, and Fletcher will gain 3 up to the 25-yard line, setting up a 2nd and 7 for the Hurricanes. Second down and 7. Left side throw. Pass caught. 28, 29-yard line. And Miami will have a 3rd down and 3 coming up. Reception there for the Hurricanes by Keelan Marion. 3rd down and 3. Hurricanes need to get to the 32 for a first down. They're 3 for 5 so far on 3rd down conversions tonight. Beck takes the snap. Beck, yeah, he's got room to run this. He's going to get to the first down sticks. Beck made the quick decision when he saw he didn't really have anything downfield, made the quick decision to take it himself, and he gets to the first down marker plus a half yard. And now we have a stoppage. They're going to review this just to make sure Beck got to the first down. And actually looking at that replay, did his knee hit just prior to him getting to that first down line? It's going to take a look. He needed to get to the 32-yard line. Beck starts diving around the 31, and his knee hit just shy of the 32, but the question is, where's the football? I think they just showed the replay from the other side. I think that's going to be tough to overturn this. Yes, his knee hits just shy of the 32, but he's got the ball in front of him. This is going to be hard to overturn, I think. I think this call on the field is going to stand with what it is. Officials are still looking at this. They're marking him short. It's going to be 4th and, 4 inches? I mean, I'm surprised they overruled that. I thought that was going to be tight. Mario Cristobal not too happy on the Miami sideline. But you know he's going to keep the offense out there and just needing not much on 4th down. No, actually, he's bringing on the punt team. This is a little bit surprising. I know you're inside your own 32-yard line, but if you can't get, actually they spotted that football way back at the 31, so they need about a half yard. So I can understand the punt, and what a punt it is! And this thing is going to roll inside the 10-yard line, so the decision looks like a good one for Mario Cristobal. I thought they were going to spot that ball just shy. They spotted it way back at the 31-yard line, so definitely understand the punt decision then. Ohio State will get it back, but backed up inside the 10-yard line. And going to commercial, ESPN just showed Mario Cristobal on the sideline right after that call was made, and let's just say he was none too pleased. I thought that was a bad spot too, but they do pin Ohio State back inside the 10-yard line. 5:50 to play here in the second quarter. So if I was a little unsure on that, when I do the live streams, for obvious reasons, I have the sound down on the TV, so I can't always 100% exactly know what's being said or what they're saying. So that's why. That's why I was a little bit confused on my end there. So can the Buckeyes come up with some kind of answer here? They have been held to 86 yards here in the first half. Both teams have a turnover in this game, but boy, it was Ohio State's a costly one. It was a pick six. And keep in mind, Ohio State won the toss and deferred, so Ohio State will get the football to start the second half. They're going to try and go for 2 for 1 here, get a score right before the half, and then get the ball coming out of halftime. And try and get some more points on the board. 148 yards of offense for Miami with 86 for Ohio State. Miami's had the football for almost 16 minutes here in the first half. I do want to point out at halftime, I will be signing off the live stream, but we'll be back on just prior to the second half. We'll run down some first half stats and get you ready for half number 2 between Miami and Ohio State. Extended half times here in these playoff games, so I don't know that I'm going to be able to fill 25 minutes. That's why I'm going to go ahead and sign off on the live stream, but please come back and join me right after halftime, right before the beginning of the third quarter. First down from the 9-yard line, Sayin with the handoff on first down, left side. That's going nowhere. Great job by the Miami defense, as Bo Jackson had nowhere to go on that left side at second down. On second down, Sayin fakes the handoff, rolling to his left, now throws a short pass, and it's incomplete. That short pass was intended for the tight end, Will Kaczmarek. And another third down for Ohio State. They have not converted one yet tonight. And they probably need to get a first down here, because if they don't, they're going to be punting from, if not their end zone, very deep in their own territory. Third and 10. Clock has stopped, 5:19 to play here in the second quarter. Sayin Takes the snap, Sayin dropping back, Sayin in trouble, and throws it out of bounds, incomplete. And Ohio State will have to punt from their end zone as Miami was bringing the pressure yet again. And another 3 and out for Ohio State. The fourth Ohio State punt of the first half, and it comes from the end zone. This is a pretty good punt. Taken at the 40. Tony's going to try and return this one, but not very far as he only gets to the 42. 2-yard return on a 50-yard punt. And now Miami back on offense once again. With just over 5 minutes to play here in the second quarter. They will have a 1st and 10 at their own 42. On a New Year's Eve night in Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium. First down from the 42-yard line for the Hurricanes. And a throw over the middle. Pass is going to be caught into Buckeye territory at the 45-yard line. Beck's pass good for 13 yards. Keelan Marion once again with the reception. First down, Miami. Marking it at the 44-yard line officially. This is a handoff to Fletcher, and Fletcher tripped up at the 41. Gain of 3 for Fletcher brings up 2nd down and 7. As we are about to tick under 4 minutes here in the second quarter. Second down and 7. Football sitting just inside the 41. Beck, screen pass left side. That's Marion again, and he will get up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and about 3.5 for Miami. Is this 4-down territory considering where they are on the field? Call it 3rd down and 3. From the 37 of the Buckeyes. And now we've got a timeout as the play clock's running down. Miami takes their first timeout of the first half with 3:06 to play here in the second quarter. Miami 3 for 6 on 3rd down conversions in this game. Well, we were scoreless after the first quarter, but Miami's put up 2 touchdowns here in the second quarter. A 9-yard pass to Mark Fletcher from Carson Beck at the 13:31 mark of the second quarter made it 7-0, and then the pick 6 of 72 yards just a minute and a half later made it 14-0, and that's where we sit now. 3rd down and 3 for Miami. Football at the Ohio State 37. It'll be a handoff, and Fletcher's not going to get there. He's going to be about a yard short, not a yard and a half short of the first down. So now what will Mario Cristobal do on 4th and about a yard and a half? They're calling it 4th and 2 officially. Let's see if Mario Cristobal likes to run most of this clock down and then take a timeout. But it looks like they're going to come up to the line still with 15 on the play clock. 4th down and 2. Miami is leaving the offense on the field. Beck takes the snap. Beck throws right side, and it's a 4th down conversion. 1st down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Malachi Toney with the 4th down reception. And that will take us down to the 2-minute timeout. 14-0 Miami. They just get a 4th down conversion, and the Hurricanes are on the drive yet again. Hurricanes are having some kind of fun here in this first half. So the Buckeyes have just been unable to get the key stops against this Miami defense, or this Miami offense, rather, here in the first half. And the Buckeyes are in a 14-0 hole, and Miami is driving yet again. Ohio State somehow, some way, will have to get a stop here. Even if Miami kicks a field goal here, they're going to go up by 3 possessions here at the end of the first half. So Miami will have a 1st down at the 29-yard line. Ohio State will get the football to start the second half. So here we go. 1st down at the 29-yard line of Ohio State for Miami. Beck looking. Beck now in trouble, and Beck's going to be sacked for the first time in this game. Back at the 35-yard line. A key sack there for Ohio State. Loss of 5. And a timeout called here. Might have been Ohio State that took that timeout. They want to try and preserve themselves some time for offense just in case they get the ball back here at the end of the first half. It was Ohio State that took the timeout. So both teams now have 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and officially a 4-yard loss there on the sack. So it'll be second down and 14. Beck. There's a toss. Whoa! And that's going to be a big loss on second down as well. They went with the pitch play, but that's going to lose 5 more. Sonny Styles got in there defensively for Ohio State and brought down Tony. And Miami going the wrong way here on these last 2 plays. It's 3rd and 19 now. And they may have knocked themselves out of field goal range here too. Buckeyes take their second timeout here. It'll be 3rd and 20 for Miami. Miami 3 for 7 on third down conversions tonight, but this would be the biggest one of the night as they need 20 yards on this one. Beck drops back. Beck looking, throwing deep down the field, but overshoots everybody, incomplete. And it'll be 4th down. And now what will the Hurricanes do? Clock is stopped with 1:44 to play in the first half. This would be about a 57-yard field goal from here, so they are going to bring on the punt team. That's a little bit too far. Miami trying to pin Ohio State deep. And the punt is away. Little pooch kick, and it is... That is downed at the 1-yard line. How about that? Boy, that was caught in the air. That was caught at about the 2. And the momentum took the defender into the end zone, but he got rid of the ball before going in the end zone. That's why I was a little hesitant before I called that, because I wasn't sure if they were going to call that a touchback with his momentum taking him into the end zone. But no, that was a great play. And Ohio State is going to be seriously backed up. This is an interesting stat. The last time Ohio State was shut out in a game in the first half was back in the 2016 Fiesta Bowl. At the 2-yard line, first down Ohio State. Then this is a run up to the 5, maybe the 6-yard line, gain of 4. Ohio State with 1 timeout. With a minute and a half to go here in the first half, Miami's going to take a timeout on defense. So both teams down to 1 timeout now here in the first half. Ryan Day is going to have to take his Buckeyes into the locker room and regroup here at halftime. As they have been thoroughly outplayed in every aspect here in the first half, outside of a couple big plays for Ohio State. They've done pretty much nothing on offense. Ohio State, not even to 100 yards of offense. They're at 91. 2nd and 6. Football sitting at the 6. Saying he's got room to run this, but now we'll throw a screen pass, and that will get up and out of bounds at the 11-yard line. That'll be a yard shy of the first down. Actually, Donaldson may have got a pretty good spot there. They are going to give him the first down. As they say, he got up to the 12-yard line. I thought he stepped out about the 11. But they're giving Donaldson the first down, and he got out of bounds to stop the clock at 1:21. Saying now 5 for 11 for 100 yards. Saying throw, open receiver. That's caught across the 25 up to the 27-yard line. And another first down for the Buckeyes. Reception for Carnell Tate. And now quick pass to the right side and out of bounds around the 35-yard line. That'll be a gain of 8 more on another pass to Donaldson. Clock is stopped with 1:07 as Donaldson got out of bounds at the 35. Second down and 2. Football at the 35. Out of the gun. Throwing over the middle. That's going to be another first down for Ohio State across the 45 to the 46. We're under 2 minutes, so the clock will stop momentarily to move the chains. Buckeyes up to the line quickly at the 46. Clock running. 1 minute to play in the first half. Saying, and the pass is dropped, incomplete. Brandon Ennis wanted a flag thrown. He had it momentarily, but then had the ball knocked away. Second down and 10. Clock is stopped with 56 seconds to play in the first half. Saying, looking over the middle, pass complete to Donaldson into Miami territory to the 47-yard line. That'll be a gain of 7. The clock is running. Third down and 3. Down to 40 seconds. 1 timeout, both sides. Saying, out of the gun. Saying, and throws, and it is going to be, is that a catch? It is. It's a first down for Ennis. Clock will stop again to move the chains at the 39-yard line, 25 seconds, and now the clock starts running again. Saying, and now we have a stoppage. Right before the snap, Miami took their final timeout of the half. So the Buckeyes marching down the field here at the end of the first half, trying to get on the scoreboard and trying to get back in this football game. Buckeyes with 1 timeout left. So Miami out of timeouts. Buckeyes first down at the 39-yard line. They've added a second back to the clock, so 22 seconds. Sayin 6 for 7 on this drive for 55 yards. Sayin takes the shotgun snap. Sayin drops back. Sayin over the middle. Pass complete up to the 32-yard line. Clock is running. And now Ohio State's going to have to burn their last timeout as we're down to 15 seconds. So they are right on the cusp of field goal range. It would be about a 49, 50-yarder from here. And again, a reminder, the Buckeyes will get the football to start the second half as they won the toss and deferred. Both teams now out of timeouts. They've added a second back on the clock, so 16 seconds. First down, Ohio State. I'm sorry, excuse me. Not a first down, Ohio State. It's second down and 2. And now Sayin takes the snap. Sayin looking. Sayin still looking, and we'll have to throw it out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 10 seconds. There was nothing downfield. Sayin just had to get rid of that. 3rd and 2. Third down and 2. 10 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Buckeyes 1 for 5 on third down conversions so far in this game. Sayin out of the gun. Sayin looking, throwing, out of bounds, and it'll be 4th down as we're down to 6 seconds. So here comes Fielding on for the field goal. This will be right at 50 yards. His career long is 49. That was set earlier this season at Purdue. This is exactly 50. Be a new career high for Fielding, and it will get the Buckeyes on the board heading into halftime. Snap is good. Kick is away, and the kick is shanked. No good to the left. Fielding missed it. And the Buckeyes still scoreless with 1 second remaining in the first half. And this will probably just be a kneel down end of the first half. So Ohio State will be shut out in the first half for the first time in nearly 10 years. And it will be a kneel down. And that will bring this first half to a close. And the Miami Hurricanes are 30 minutes away from heading to the college football playoff semifinals as they lead Ohio State here at the half in the Goodyear Cotton Bowl 14-0. Ohio State will have the football coming out of the locker room in the second half, and they showed some life there on offense on that last drive, but have been unable to finish to this point. And they are in a 2-touchdown hole with 30 minutes to play in our first college football playoff quarterfinal game. Miami up 14 here at the half, 14-0. Again, with these extended half times in these playoff games and the bowl games, I am going to sign off for just a few minutes here, but I will be back just prior to the second half. We will run down the first half stats, get you ready for the second half. Can the Buckeyes come back and keep their hopes alive for back-to-back national championships, or will the Miami Hurricanes head to the college football playoff semifinal? We'll find out with 30 minutes to play. Miami up 14-0 on Ohio State. Brief pause here. Back with you just prior to the second half. Come on back and join me here in a little bit.